Hey y'all, what's going on? Back. Man in an Apron, episode 4, season 1. Beef tips, rice, French green beans, and cornbread, of course. I'm going to start out with a medium-sized saucepan. Half stick of your butter, a medium heat, and let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is add a teaspoon of garlic, half a cup of chopped white onions, half a cup of bell pepper. Put that up a little bit more. Excuse me, a tablespoon of garlic. And let that saute there for a minute. And while that's doing that, I want to send a big ups to all my friends, all my family, everybody give me all the moral support to do this every Tuesday night, strictly for you guys. And for those people who don't really know how to cook that well, this is your outlet. It ain't gonna be like mine, because I can't give you my recipe, but I'm gonna make it good enough to where you can eat it, you can enjoy it, everybody can. So let this cook a little bit more. And a kind of meat that I'm using today is actually stew meat. The only difference between stew meat and beef tips is it's a little bit smaller, but I like mine. Wow, I like it a little bit larger than the beef tips. So hold on. So today I stopped at the local meat market. Got a couple pounds of your stew meat. Hold on. There we go. Cook a little bit. So this is what I meant by a little larger than your average a beef tip. This is like your a typical piece of your steak. For those of you guys out there who know how to butcher, that's the end of it. It's really just it don't want, but it's actually the best part of it. This is the one that I like to use. So add that in there. I'm gonna let that get good and brown. Where's my towel? Wipe my hands. Also, being as I only have a half an hour or maybe 20 to 25 minutes, I cooked my rice already and I made my cornbread already earlier. So that way I won't be on here for too long and I won't have you guys and lose your interest. So add a little bit more in that until the vegetables are covered. That looks about right. And I got a 2 pounds, so I would say that's roughly about half of that, a pound. And now it will be your time to add your seasoning to it. If you're going to do it the old-fashioned way with the salt and the pepper, you do so. If you're going to do it how I like to do it, with my Creole seasoning right here, the one that I made up. Yep, this is it right here. I'm going to put a tablespoon and a half in now on that. And I know, as somebody might be thinking, that's going to be a little too salty, but now, after I explain it to you and how mine tastes versus the other ones, it'll be just right actually. So let's give it a good stir. And for those guys out there who really just don't know how to cook, this is basically a beef stew, but boiled down and condensed to make it a little bit thicker than a beef stew without the vegetables such as your peas and your carrots. That's all it is. I mean, it's not hard at all. But this is a good meal on one of them days. It's a little cold. It's kind of how it was like today. It was a little cold. I was hungry. I said, you know what? Let me hook me up some beef tips. Even though I told y'all this the other day, but it kind of it meshed well. So give it a good stir. And the object here is to get everything good and brown. After you get it good and brown, it's going to get a little tough on you. But I don't worry about that, because after it gets tough, you're going to boil the crap out of it. And what I mean by that is, after you get it up to a boil for like an hour and a half, then as it condenses down, it it'll start to get a little thick. I'll show you here in a few seconds. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy, a classmate of mine, Mr. Wade, man. Hey, bro, I appreciate all of your support and everything that you have done for me in order for me to get to where I'm at right now. Even though I'm still at home in my kitchen, I got some big things that's coming, y'all. Trust me. And all my friends and my family, Jeremy and Jody, D and Ari. I appreciate y'all too and all of y'all support. So let's get this going. And also what I'm going to do now is start on my green beans. So that way there, I won't take that long and I won't have you guys out of doing whatever you're doing, homework, anything else, or just lounging around. So give me a second. I thought I had the right pot, but I didn't. So here we go. So basically, on your green beans, you're gonna do how I do anything else. Start off with a half stick of butter. Let me put this up a little bit more for y'all so I can see over there. A half stick of butter, and the reason for that is because to give it a lubrication, flavor, whatever you want to call it, it's all good. I mean, hey, and some might say too much butter it hurts your heart. Hey, you gotta add something, you know. So, half stick of butter. I'm not talking about no spread. I'm talking about actual butter though, y'all, because that's so much better than the spread or the parquet, a country crock, or whatever that you buy at the store. That's garbage. Get the real stuff, the real butter. And I like to have mine a little frozen though, because it makes it it ain't as messy. If you ever notice and you get the butter that's room temp, open up the package, it's all over your hands. So we're gonna let the dishes go. And also now it would also be the time that I add my garlic. Half a teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of garlic onto your green beans. And speaking of green beans, I don't buy the ones in the can because, you know, preservatives and everything, all the other additives. I like to get the fresh ones from Sam's. Cost a little or nothing, honestly. They're not too high, but they're good. Like, I love them. So let me show you the ones that I buy. You know, just your average, atypical picked green beans. You see the ones in the cans are half the size, but those are horrible. This is exactly what you need and what you want. Added a quarter of an onion too to this mix right here. You can either slice your onion or dice it. I like mine sliced in terms of my green beans. So we're gonna add that. And the seasoning that I did not use on here, I'm gonna add it in here. So yeah, you're gonna let that there and get happy and marinate real good. And please, y'all, make sure that your green beans are all the way cooked, all the way through. The reason being because on the outside, excuse me, excuse me. Had to sneeze and wash my hands. The outside of the beans, it can get done, but the inside can be stone cold inside. So just make sure that you thoroughly. I cook the green beans until they're a little brown, slightly burnt on the edges. That's just how I like to cook them, and that's my rule of thumb. So stir these up a little bit more. I turn my fire up a little bit more. And the reason I want a hot fire is because I want the seasoning to sear on the outside of the green bean. And what I mean by serious, like stick to it, and it don't go nowhere, y'all. It's so good and delicious, and also healthy for you. So stir up your beef tips. You see how it's starting to look right now, right? So we're gonna turn the fire up on him a little bit more because I want him to cook as fast as he can. While that's cooking, I have been asked a few questions on Facebook about where I'm from, how old I am, etc. I'm from Houston, Texas. Came to Louisiana. I was roughly, I want to say, high school-ish. I think I remember back that far. But I've been cooking all my life since I was 8 years old. The first thing I cooked was a pancake. It was so nasty, it was disgusting actually. But I came up under my grandmother, my mom, my stepmom, my auntie, just a house full of women. That's who I came up under, and that's how I learned how to cook. And that's my passion for cooking, is because I know it makes everybody happy. And with this day and age, and everybody, you know, sitting there dying and everything else, y'all, we got to come together, and this is my way of bringing us together, cooking. So let's stir it all up again. I wish I could smell this. Smells so good. Let it cook. And what we want these right here to do is pretty much like caramelize your onions, but have the green bean cooked thoroughly. Like, it smells really good. This is a really good flavor, and it'll fill everybody up. So let's stir the beef tips up a little bit more. And as you can hear, have it on high heat. So we're going to turn this down just a little bit. At this point right now, what I would do is get you out a spoon and taste it. And the reason I taste it at this point here is because it's going to be the point that I'm going to stop by cooking it again after it boils. That way it's going to be good and thick, and it can go good on your rice, on your mashed potatoes, or on anything that you want to put it on. So now what we're going to do is add a few cups of water and put it on high heat. Again, high heat. A cup and a half of water. And the only thing that I'm doing this right here for is to kind of thicken it up. And now it'll be your time to either add your cornstarch, or you can just give it some time and let it make its own gravy. A whole lot of people, they really don't know how to cook, they add a little bit of cornstarch in this right here. And what the cornstarch does, it thickens everything up. So let's go back over to the beans. And they about ready now, y'all. Man. Whoa. Smell-o-vision. Smells so good. So we can get us a minute or two, maybe, because everything is good right now. It smells really good too. Get my other spoon for my beef tips. Okay, so at this point right here, y'all, again, you have to boil this for at least an hour and a half. That's how I would do it. And an hour and a half is because it's going to get real tender. That's how you want it, because, you know, we got elderly people in our family with the false teeth and everything else, and I don't want to see grandma over there just. I want her to actually eat it, enjoy it, and have a good time. So an hour and a half, you have to cook it down. If the water happens to run really low, you add a little bit more water to it, and what that does is it's going to make the meat more tender. So, as we go back over this right here, if you want to make your gravy thicker, add you a little bit of cornstarch. And what I mean by a little bit, I mean like a teeny bit, like a half a teaspoon. Start with that and see how thick that your concoction is. Just remember though, as it goes to boil down, even more and more, it's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker. So you got to be careful with the cornstarch. So let that go a little bit more. Another spoon. There we go. Green beans done, y'all. Good and done. So everybody, this episode here was short, sweet, and simple. As I told y'all earlier, I made a batch earlier, just so I wouldn't have you guys on here for too long. So that way you can see the end result from my earlier cooking. So you can see how this will look in an hour and a half. If you just be patient with it and baby it. It's just like a little baby. Just baby it. So let's turn him off. And let me give you the end result though. This has been the quickest show that I've ever done. 16 minutes. Bam. Straight to the point. Got your attention. You can go home and make it now. So again, we took a pound of beef, stewed meat, aka beef tips, half a cup of onion, half a cup of bell pepper, a tablespoon and a half of Creole seasoning, my seasoning, or as you may call it, a Lowry's or whatever that you want to use, a tablespoon of garlic. Stir all that in there and let that get good and brown. Add your water. Boil it for at least an hour and a half. Again, an hour and a half. That's for tenderness. Then after the hour and a half come, it's done. Oh, I forgot. Add you half a teaspoon of cornstarch to thicken up all the gravy and everything else. Season the taste. However, if you like your food, if you like it salty, make it salty. If you like it bland, add a little bit more water and add a little bit more cornstarch. On the green beans, half a bag of fresh green beans, a quarter cup of onions, half a tablespoon of garlic. Saute all that right there and let that stuff get good and happy. Then after it's happy, you happy, we happy. Again, y'all, thank y'all. I want to thank my sponsors. You know who you are. Thank y'all for everything. Starting next week, I will be naming my sponsors, but this week I can't because illegal obligations and everything else. But I'm up and coming, y'all. I'm on my way. We on our way. Thank y'all. Have a good night.